And then finally, I want you to notice the word glorify. Glorify your Son, that your Son also may glorify you. Now, the word glorify is one of those big theological words that most people kind of think they have a handle on, but if push comes to shove, most people can't tell you what it means to glorify. It's good. Not much more than that. Here's the thing. If you look up that word in a Greek lexicon, it's the word doxa, from which we get the word doxology. And if you look up the definition, here's what it means to glorify. Are you ready? It means to exalt, to lift up, to praise, to honor, to magnify. I think Jim Beeling had it best. He once described what it means to glorify God as to make God look good. Isn't that a great definition? To make God look good. It's not that God needs your help, by the way. He's already good no matter what, right? But when we show the world how good God is, what are we doing in effect? We're glorifying Him. We're glorifying Him. And listen, Jesus mentions this word glorify 7 times in this one chapter alone, which says to me it's a dominant theme when it comes to His prayer life, to glorify the Father. In fact, the disciples' prayer starts off with glory. Our Father in heaven, holy is your name. What are you doing? You're glorifying the Lord. You're lifting Him up. You're exalting. You're praising. And how does it end? For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory. Glory. Oftentimes when it comes to life and living, what do? We do the exact opposite. Instead of exalting God, we exalt ourselves. I think of that story with the Pharisee and the tax collector. They go to the temple to pray. Most of you know the story. I won't go into too much detail except to say the Pharisee was full of himself. He was exalting himself. He was looking down at the tax collector. He was like, God, thank you that you didn't make me like that guy. And then he goes into this long discourse of all the things he does. I do this, I do that, I do that, I do this, I fast, I pray. He was exalting himself instead of exalting the Lord. Now you say, wait a minute. Well, Jesus here in this verse talks about, hey, Father, glorify the Son as I have glorified you. Well, that's different. Jesus is God. We're not. You ever heard of the Westminster Confession? It was written in the 1600s. It was a catechism to kind of help the church in England become revitalized. In that catechism, it talks about the purpose of man. And we'll put it up here on the screen. The chief aim of man, I love this. If you want to know what your purpose is, it's right here. The chief aim of man is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. Isn't that awesome? It's to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. In fact, one comes from the other. If you put the other screen, this is a quote from C.S. Lewis. The Scotch Catechism is talking about the Westminster, says that man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. And he goes on to say, but we shall then know that these things are the same thing. Fully to enjoy is to glorify. In commanding us to glorify Him, I love this, God is inviting us to enjoy Him. Why do we make this stuff so hard? God is inviting us to enjoy Him. And when we do that, we're glorifying the Lord.